Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my Spider-Man Miles Morales blind playthrough, and we took out the second of 6 enemy hideouts. And I must say this one was in the clutches of Roxxon, I guess, instead of the Underground. And it was a hell of a lot easier to take out. I didn't make any of the bonus targets, but I'm okay with that. The thing is, I did manage to take out the base, and that's all that really matters. And I thought we are gonna spend this episode going, or at least the beginning of this episode, going to our next main objective. Because once again, I have spent a little time doing side activities. I think this game is fun, or so much fun, so I like to switch in between side activities and the main quest a little bit. I'm not going for many of the collectibles in this one because that's not what I do. And yeah, just trying to do a balance in between side and main activities or objectives.
Underground are everywhere.
You might say they're overground?
Keep working on that one.
Superior landing.
And not friendly.
Your suit says that was 300 kilojoules. How is that just ow?
Benefits of bioelectricity, I guess. Power can be supplied all locally.
Any sign of the power source?
Several. Bet these cables lead the way.
Electrified barrier is next level. Maybe they got nervous after someone infiltrated Fisk Tower.
Who do that?
Could be. One of the details in Spider-Man's suit that I love, just for the fact that it is so unnecessary, is the fact that the eyes on the suit actually close when he closes his eyes. Like when he is squinting, as you do when you're really looking at something really focusedly, with a lot of focus, you have a tendency to squint. And I love the fact that his suit squints as well. It's one of those like vanity details. Let's see, can we if I throw this on him, come on.
I shut down Fisk Tower, and I'll shut you down here.
Did not go as well as planned, but I always do the stealth approach, or have done thus far, so why not switch it up a bit? Just whip some ass. Because stealthing is fun, but this is not the Dishonored game, so for once we are gonna go in just using brute force. Ow. So, was that all obvious?
Got him.
There we go.
Now I gotta drain that generator.
There is some delay sometimes when you press certain buttons in this game.
Drained it. Feeling good. Now for the others.
Let's see. Now where are the others? There's one down there. Should we do as we always do and try to like work our way down? Maybe not go. Because I don't know if, whoops. I don't think enemies from another like area can start get involved and throw a monkey wrench in your plans. But it would be quite sad to find out that they can. Now let's see. Wait, throw one on you. I like the fact that the camouflage ability, have that back, gives you even a slight advantage when you go into a full-on fist fight with the enemies. Seems like they are not prone as much to fight back when they can't see you kicking their ass, which is thoughtful of them. Easy there, cowboy.
Cool.
And that was generator number 2. And I've talked in several episodes about the fact that I still haven't been able to get my hands on a PlayStation 5. And as you probably all know, Sony are having a real hard time meeting the demand of consoles. And that is a lot to do with the fact that there is a lack of semiconductors in the world, because there are only 2 companies that can make them. And due to the ongoing pandemic, there has been a shortage. And also the fact that a lot of scalpers like to buy out all the stock from retailers so other people can't get their hands on them, which I have talked about. And I think it is disgusting, shitty behavior. But there's not much you can do about it, sadly. Just accept the fact that people do that. But as I mentioned before, in January, Elden Ring will be out, the new From Software game, which I'm really looking forward to. And in a perfect scenario, I'll be able to get my hands on a PlayStation 5 before then. It does seem that that plan is gonna go on its ass, basically, because I refuse to buy of scalpers, and they're still lacking at the retailers. But I read an article from August that says that Sony have secured a lot of semiconductors and hopefully will be able to meet the demand rather soon. I'm not sure how true that is, because it hasn't happened yet. But hopefully so. But also, something I think is a bit sad about this new so-called new console generation is that it really hasn't had. Now we are 1 year into the life cycle of the PlayStation 5, and I must say, this is starting really, really slowly. And I've talked lot of times that I think that the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, that was the regeneration of video games. It's a lot of remasters, reboots, remakes, mostly remasters. And I think it's sad, and I really hope that the new generation with the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox, whatever it's called, Project Series X or something stupid like that. These enemies with the swords, I thought about that earlier. That they remind me of, what was the chick called in Soul Calibur? I think she's called Ivy or something. She has, oops, a sword that can be like pulled apart so it acts like a chain. A bit like a chain whip. I think she's called Ivy. Silver hair, big boobs, no clothes. Do I have to... Oh, I have to redo the whole thing. Well, that was fun. So now I'm gonna start from the top and work my way down. Should have taken out the sniper. Ooh. Yes, I talked about that. It was the regeneration. I start to digress more and more, I feel. And I hope the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X don't fall into that trap and try to live, or that developers try to live off old merits. I almost said that the console tries to live off old merits, but I think Sony don't give a shit. Because they provide a console, or Microsoft for that matter. Since PlayStation is my main console that I play on, I have a tendency to talk more about that. But did I forget? I forgot to turn off the generator on the top roof. Or did I? But yes, as I was saying, I hope that these new consoles... Ah! I didn't have to redo the whole mission. Thank you. Yes, as I said, I hope they don't fall into that trap, because... And I'm starting to see those tendencies already. Because Rockstar Games and Bethesda have said that they will re-release GTA 5 and Skyrim on the PlayStation 5.
Like that elevator, if I can lift it.
And I'm thinking, like, why? Because Skyrim is, at this point in time, it is 10 years old. It came out in 2011. And I think it was early in 2011 even. And GTA 5 came out in 2013 the first time. On PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. And I can understand they re-released it on PlayStation 4, buffed up the graphics a little bit, and did a cash grab. Fine. Because they arrived quite late in the PlayStation 3's life cycle. Because the PlayStation examined the silo. Because the PlayStation 4 was released in 2013, at the end of 2013, and I can understand why they wanted to re-release it, gain some more money, because the PlayStation 4 wasn't backwards compatible to PlayStation 3, makes the games on the previous console generation die faster.
I got a hunch, yeah.
I get it.
Container's got cables running away from it.
But to re-release it once again on this new console generation, in my opinion, at that point, you're just dry humping the cash cow.
So why do you think I should tell Finn I'm Spider-Man? Don't you think she might react
And
badly?
the saddest part is that people will buy it.
She's your best friend. Besides me.
Most likely so.
Tinkerer.
Pro, talking to her is easier than sneaking around behind her back.
And
One, the other Spider-Man was super clear.
I just
Don't tell
wish
anyone who you are.
people would stop buying
Maybe if she knows it's you she's fighting, she'll rethink the
those
whole
lazy
Maybe you're
remasters.
right.
So they would force developers into, like, make Elder Scrolls 6, make GTA
Thinks of making
6,
new weapons to deal with me. Guess she told the rest of the underground
make
to keep tabs.
sequels, not remasters, because you're not even doing any work at this point. You're just buffing up. Let's see.
All right.
Rehashing
Hope this is a good idea.
What's the worst that can
old
happen?
shit.
Says the guy 30 blocks away.
And I'm gonna air a opinion that is most likely. Hold down L2 and press R1 repeatedly to down. Oh, okay. Let's see. Is it this one?
Oh, no good. Nice. Clear line of sight to the generator.
Okay. So struggling. Let's see. Not quite sure.
No one's here. Could look around some.
Okay. And I connect it to this.
Can't make a
Ah.
direct connection. Might be able to use that relay node to run a daisy chain.
Now I get it. Yes, as I said, I think I would love if they...
Down. One to go.
What am I missing? There we go. So do I have to like make a hello?
Looks like Finn's making a new mask? Shield? Soon as I find a way around the underground's weapons, she comes up with something new.
Yeah, terrible person. Load. I'm still trying to load the Oh, right. There we go.
That sounds promising. Check Finn's supercomputer.
Yes, I just hope that people would stop buying those things.
What
And
to, Finn?
I know I have said before I will be buying
Finn's
Demon's
pumping
Souls
energy into the new
Remastered
form.
when
Maybe
that
it's
comes
like
out.
Venom did.
Which exploded the bridge.
But
So, what? Does she want to blow up
just
Peter?
that I wish they would stop rehashing the same games over and over again. And I've read now that they're gonna re-release,
Whoa, what? That's... How could
what is
you...
it, GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, I think, on the PlayStation 5 as well.
I can't let her do this.
It's like, please get off your ass and make GTA 6. And of
I'm
course,
taking a new form.
yes, now I remember my train of thought from earlier. I said I had an unpopular opinion. And this may
Get the new form.
give me some grief, and I'm okay with that.
Just to put it out
Because it's just my opinion, and everyone is entitled to one, and if you don't agree with me,
Finn's not just talking about
that is
throwing a rock
absolutely
through the
fine.
window. She wants to blow up a building.
I was not
If any part of her plan goes
amazed
wrong, people will
by
get hurt.
GTA
Can't
5.
let her take that chance.
You're right.
I have
Let's get that
never
uniform outta here.
been a super fan of the series, I can admit. But people were like completely flabbergasted by the game when it came out, and I must say I wasn't, because I think, of course, it was very well done and it was fun, of course, because they have never, from what I can remember, I think that Rockstar Games have never dropped the ball, so to speak, when it comes to a GTA game.
I like your new place. Is there a
But
phantom
it
anywhere?
wasn't as good as it could have been. I wasn't a fan of, I think, the protagonist switching mechanic, or whatever you call it. I wasn't so impressed by, or wasn't so impressed is not the wrong, or is not the correct term. Of course it was impressive, it was fun. But it's one of those things that, to me, it didn't sit quite right with me, because throughout the entire game, to me it felt like an afterthought. Because I think it was apparent, and I think anyone would agree, that when development started on that game, the plan was to make Michael the playable protagonist. And I know that they wanted to, in GTA 4, they wanted you, or they wanted to have the protagonist switching system as well. You were supposed, I think that's how the Battle of Gay Tony and The Lost and Damned came about, because they wanted to like make you be able to play as Johnny and whatever the guy was called in Battle of Gay Tony. I can't remember. It's been years and years since I played it. But they wanted to make them playable, but they, due to the technical limitations of the generation, they didn't manage to pull it off. And in GTA 5 they managed to do it. I don't know, maybe it wasn't due to technical limitations, maybe it was just time constraint. Either way, to me it felt, oh dear God, what is that?
Venom tears apart.
Good. Keep doing that.
He looks like a high-tech version of something out of Dark Souls. Like Havel the computer geek. So how's about we take out all the little peons and we can take him on afterwards. I don't think the game will be kind enough to let us do that though. Or
This yours?
is he already taken down? Either way, GTA 5, yes, Franklin and Trevor.
Okay.
They're fun to play as. I don't think
No.
Franklin
Can't let you take that.
felt he was the one that felt that he needed more work, because his entire thing was that he was trying to get out of the hood, trying to make a better life for himself, make better choices, leave his way of crime and hopelessness behind him, and had no problems at all sniping people and killing indiscriminately because video game. So I felt that he was the most lacking character. Trevor was always fun to play as, because Trevor was certifiably insane. And the psychos are always fun to play. We can try to deny it, but if you think about it, you know it's true. But it was in no way a bad game. As I said, Rockstar Games, as far as the games I've played, which are most of the GTA games, they have never been bad. There's so much work going into those games. Well-made story, or well-written stories, good acting, good script, fun missions, very well designed. But I was not blown away by GTA 5. And not quite sure why. I actually hope, as far as protagonists go in the GTA series, Niko Bellic from GTA 4 has always been my favorite. I really like the story of GTA 4, even though that game had the most atrocious car physics of the entire series. And the funny thing is, I think I've talked about this in previous projects, that they wanted to go for more realism when it came to driving in GTA 4. So they made the car super heavy. Shit. And it just felt like you were driving on, on an ice rink with a bunch of bowling balls just rolling around freely in your trunk while you had your summer tires on. Horrendous. But I liked Niko as a protagonist, and I liked the entire underdog story of him. But we'll see. Maybe one day we will see GTA 6. Or maybe in a few years I'll be sitting here talking about the PlayStation 7 and the 5th remaster of GTA 5. No, I hope not, and I don't think we will. And if that isn't there, I can always whine about probably Assassin's Creed number 278. Quick ice skates, or fast ice skates. I have no idea how you're supposed to
I'm actually at home. My parents get back next week, so
translate that.
But I can come back.
But now this episode has gone on for quite some time. So we're gonna go in and check out our new suit that we unlocked with our new level, and it is not rendering. Hello? That's new. Available in New Game Plus. Why doesn't Feel the Cosmos? Okay, since guess we're gonna have to do it this way.
I need some advice.
About what exactly?
Maybe it's because it's dark, but this suit looks terrible. horrible choice to unlock it. Ah, there we go. Yes, no, not a fan at all. I'm gonna go back to the classic suit because that looked like balls. And yes, I'm gonna end this episode right here because we're past the 30-minute mark almost. And I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video. I hope you're enjoying this project. But yes, as I said, I want to thank you so very much for watching. I will see you again in my next video, and until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.